All right, fantastic. So, first thing I actually wanted to talk about was a little bit of strategy. This is kind of a thing when you're obsessed with YouTube in the YouTube space, maybe browsing one of 10 a lot, you can actually spot like what channels maybe have like a team behind them and a kind of catching trending thumbnail formats or idea formats. Now, as someone who's obviously looking at kind of strategy and stuff every week, um, one of the formats that have been trending recently is actually this 5 levels of or 7 levels of format here. So you can see it's got like this multicolored thumbnail with the levels in it. Now, I was actually just playing around with filters a little bit. Sometimes I just go for like crazy outliers, hit around 50K views from the last 3 months, and just scroll through like all niches to see if there's any like transferable maybe idea formats or trending formats that you can take from like niche to niche, because this is a really good way to get like crazy high views in your own niche, when you grab something from another niche and maybe you're the first one to do it in your niche. So I came across, this is Vin's video. This guy, he does a lot of training on, I think it's like public speaking and stuff. I've seen him a lot around everywhere, but you can see like how to talk to anyone once you know their color. He's kind of translated this trending thumbnail style into a different kind of idea. So he's not going with like the levels format, which is what all of these creators done here, and transformed and combined it with the kind of color thumbnail, but he's kind of changed the angle of the idea and but also related it to the thumbnail, which was just something I thought was quite interesting. And also just another example just to the left here, I thought was also a very good example of, if you think about like the finance niche, it's like one of the most saturated niches because everyone wants a piece of the bank when it comes to finance, AdSense revenue and sponsorships. Like even if you have a relatively small audience, your AdSense can be crazy high and you can get like really like high paying sponsors to your content if you manage to grow in the finance niche. But here you can see like a family kind of guy style cartoon and the $10,000 rule. $10,000 is kind of a very common, I guess, spoken about figure in the finance niche. But using this kind of thumbnail has obviously created a massive outlier for him. I'm actually going to quickly check out to see if the video
Picture
is
this scenario.
Okay, so as you can see, oh damn, the whole video is animated. So now you can see like maybe this is what it takes to build a new finance channel nowadays. I feel like these animated channels with all of these AI softwares that are making it easier to, I guess, generate animations are making it a lot easier for some people to start up. But moving on, thumbnail generation. I wanted to try out when it comes to these kind of, you could say, faceless or animated channels. I wanted to see if like the 1 of 10 thumbnail generator could kind of cook up one of these simple paint thumbnails or like a similar style, because this style has kind of been trending, similar to the Why It Sucks kind of format, if you guys have seen that. But this is the kind of style of video, but I was looking at the thumbnail. So what I did, I just want to show you in terms of why it's important with prompting with a thumbnail generator. I just tried a title first up, which is what a lot of people do, and the results were kind of there. Not exactly matched with the channel too much. Maybe this one's like all right, but I wouldn't say that they're like super usable unless you like cut out certain elements. Second is where it starts to get better. So what I tend to do is I tend to put in like brackets of details that I want. So when I put like impaled on the left and fire on the right, it actually understood obviously impaled and fire and actually matched up the characters with what was happening closer to the channel. But then this is where it starts to get good, where it's like you start to describe exactly kind of what you're seeing on the thumbnail. So I said figure on the left, but with builder's helmet and it's a burning skeleton, black text above saying what the black text is, and then describing the figure on the right as well. Now, I did get a few generations where it was like, you're not allowed to do this because of, I guess, the violence involved, but you can get past it if you sometimes just keep trying. But the crazy thing is, I was curious, like, okay, it's managed to kind of take the channel style and somewhat kind of replicate it here. I actually think this one is quite good here, this thumbnail. But I was like, okay, let's just say I wanted to do like a fresh take. I don't want to copy like the rest of them. Maybe I want to do like a 3D Blender style. So I did do that. and I literally just did plain white background, text impaled on left, fire on the right, and make the image 3D Blender style, and it actually came out pretty well, like kind of horror Bob the Builder episodes. But yeah, I guess that's my introduction to strategy / thumbnail stuff that I was going to speak about in regards to the 1 of 10 tool. And now the floor is open to you guys to ask questions. You are welcome to come up on stage for a little bit to talk about your own channel, or whether you have questions about the tool. I'd love to hear about any wins anyone has got this week, whether it's from researching on 1 of 10 or otherwise. Like, it's great to share wins with everyone. So whoever is willing to come up or would like to pop a question in the chat, if you don't want to come onto the stage, you can do so now. I hope that whole time my audio has been good. Would anyone like to come up on the stage, or do you guys have any questions about your channels? I'm happy to take a look. You can send links in the chat. And also any questions that you have about the tool, any suggestions that you have about the tool is all good. We have a shy crowd this week. Usually I am bombarded from the first minute. I can see some people typing, so I will just wait a couple seconds. All right, great. We've got Kenny and Lippy Gaming typing. I have hope now. Any questions at all, or you can request to come up to the stage if you prefer speaking over typing. How do you create prompts for the thumbnails? Like you said, the prompts are the important part. Tom is asking. Okay, so basically, the best way to describe it is in these 3 kind of stages. So if we take a look at like Simple Paint's channel, obviously let's just say the last 12 uploads have been like the worst deaths, or the most painful deaths, or the most brutal deaths, all in different contexts. So for example, this is like car crash, this is, I guess, brutal, roller coaster, factory. So I was like, okay, is there an idea there that he hasn't done? And I thought, okay, maybe construction, because then there's like a clear visual when it comes to like the construction helmets and stuff. So the first step is you kind of just think of a title, or you can even replicate a title if you want to make like a similar kind of thumbnail to what they're already doing. I went with the worst construction deaths ever, but usually the title like isn't enough, because it might just like scan the whole channel and do a little bit of like combining between everything. So to then refine it, what I do is I look visually what I want. So all of these thumbnails here, basically they all have a white background. So to keep it simple, I was just like, okay, I'll go with a pale background and then 2 figures. So plain white background, and then I went text impaled on the left and text fire on the right. So once it actually has the kind of the text prompt there, it's going to look at the channel, and it's probably going to see the text is above a figure each. So then it starts to replicate that kind of thumbnail style. And then once again, it's like, okay, can I describe any more visual details that I want? Okay, maybe I want to actually describe, I want a skeleton that's on fire on one side, and then I want a figure on the other side with like looking messed up with glass sticking out of his head. I apologize, this week is a little bit of a violent approach to the thumbnail making. And then obviously on this one, I just did the 3D kind of blender test there. But yeah, sometimes you have to experiment a little bit to see what prompts work the best. And you can also, for example, if I click edit with AI and then make figure on the right, t-shirt red. Let's see if this one works. Usually what you can do is just, if there are some like small tweaks that you want to make, you can just click edit and then make that tweak. But I would advise not making big tweaks with this. You want to make like, yeah, there we go. It's perfectly done it. You want to make big tweaks with your prompts, and then small tweaks with the editor. Because every time you use the editor, sometimes it can just like slowly change things a little bit by little bit. But you don't want to make too many changes with the editor. Just maybe like a text fix or like a color change somewhere. Okay, next. Who's up next? Oh, Tom, sorry. This is with the 1 of 10 thumbnail generator that I'm using. So compared to ChatGPT, the thumbnail generator, we've got like link channels. We can look at channels, so you can kind of replicate any thumbnail style that you want. And then also, I guess the way that the AI looks at stuff, it completely optimizes it for YouTube thumbnails. So it's kind of like a YouTube thumbnail. It's specialized in YouTube thumbnails, to say. Okay, so Kenny K up next. He says, I have a question. I have a channel I just started working on in the true crime niche. Very, very competitive niche. I am not getting any views on the channel, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. My channel name is... would you be able to send your channel link in the chat? Because it looks like you sent like a website link. Yeah, I don't know if anything's coming up here. So if you could send me your channel link, that would be great in the chat. And then after I've taken a look at Kenny's channel, Scribes, I'll bring you up to the stage to speak. So just bear with me. I have a... Oh, okay. So Scribes, do you also have a true crime channel? Okay, great. So I guess when I pull up Kenny's, I can take a look at his, and then we can bring you up on the stage and we can just like discuss further questions about true crime, because it is a very, very competitive, saturated niche. So it's not easy to get started. Kenny, if you could send your channel through, that would be fantastic. So I could like pull it up as an example. Just while we're waiting for a channel link, or to be honest, I might just bring Scribes onto the stage in a sec, scene as it's true crime and everything's kind of relevant. Tom asks, how many times a week do I look at outliers and strategies? Every day, to be honest. I mean, this is my job, so it's like a bit unfair. I'm always looking at like outliers and obviously posting about this stuff, creating content around this kind of stuff. I mean, honestly speaking, if you really want to take YouTube seriously, like just spending a little bit of time a day, like just browsing outliers, keeping on top of what your competition's doing, keeping on top of trending formats like the 5 levels I showed earlier, like you're going to spot patterns. All right, what I'll do is, Scribes, I'll bring you onto the stage. Kenny, if you could send your channel in the meantime, I could also discuss that while I've got Scribes on the stage. So let me invite you up now.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, how's it going?
Good. So I have a question. It's not related to the true crime. So I have a hockey channel,
Okie dokie.
and I came across a channel in the football niche, and their packaging is really, really good.
Do you want to
So I'm repurposed.
send a link through? We can have a look while we're discussing
Yes.
it. That would be great. I can put it up
Yeah.
on my screen.
Yeah. So this is the channel I found. More Than Athletes.
Let me grab this.
So they're really hammering in on the rags to riches format
I really
and
like
doing
these
really,
split
really good.
thumbnails. Let me show you. Actually, I wonder if they got this from. Oh, what was it? What was was the channel? Anyways, what was your question? I will try and remember the channel I'm thinking of in the meantime.
Yeah, no worries. So how do you go about further? Like, I think the format, I got the format down, right? Like, it's the
Mm,
rags to riches, the addict to the highest paid NFL star type thing. So I've
yep.
repurposed that for my hockey. But how do you know and how do you research which players would actually hit, if that makes
Yeah,
sense?
I guess this is a little bit to do with, to be honest, insiders' knowledge of not of hockey. So,
Sure.
like just say for example, obviously like stars like Neymar and Ronaldo when it comes to football, in terms of
Hmm.
English football, or I guess whatever international football. Those are like massive, what we would call like viral vectors in the football niche, because like
Hmm.
you use a name like that and they're gonna blow up. So really, what it is you have to try and think about the total addressable market for the specific player that you're talking about. Or like I feel like it's a combination of, number one, like who are the players who are most talked about in hockey, or just are the most famous, whether it be through social media, through hockey itself, through the kind of fans and so on. But it's also a combination of who has the most interesting story. So obviously you want to be able to tell interesting stories here. So it's like the angle of the addict who became the NFL's highest paid star is much more interesting than the NFL star no one saw coming. Like, this is kind of interesting, has a bit of like mystery in it. Maybe there's a good story in there. I mean, 200k views is nothing to be sad about. But the addict who
Hmm.
became, there's this real like underdog story here. And there's a
Yeah.
much kind of clearer like before after here, and also like the hated 5 star. I think this gets a little bit generic here. Maybe there's not a before and after here, so maybe that's why it didn't do so well. Um, Maybe getting sick and dominating the NFL. That's an interesting angle, but maybe, I don't know, there might not be enough drama in that story. It might just be like
Yeah.
a recovery story. Um, so yeah, I think when it comes to hockey, I guess, do you have a lot of knowledge about hockey? Is it like a hobby, or
I
like you
do.
obsessed?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love hockey.
Mm,
Um, so like yeah, like I my first video that I actually came up with based on this was the addict who became an NHL Masterton Trophy winner. So it's
I'm just
tying into like the addict piece.
mm.
Uh, I haven't released it yet. It's still in editing mode. Uh,
So
but yeah, so it's really tying into that Max Crosby video that more than athletes had. The player might not be super well. The story is very good. The
mm.
player doesn't play anymore. Um, but
But do they have a lot of fans behind them?
I would say probably a decent amount. I wouldn't say
What
he
was their
wouldn't be like
main
a Sidney Crosby or a Lemieux or a Gretzky type player, but
what was the name? Because one thing you can kind of do is when you just search YouTube videos. So I mean, just an example, it's like you search Ronaldo, you'll get an idea of like
Mhm.
the kind of market and the views that like Ronaldo videos get. So if you literally just search the name of the players that you want to make videos on, you can get an idea of like how many views are like the highest view videos on the player, and
Mhm.
what are the kind of lowest views videos on the player. And if you have a player, let's just say they're a bit too niche of a market, but you still want to make the video on them, there might be like another angle you can take that that will open it up to a wider audience, but not make the video look too niche, because you're not necessarily mentioning the player or advertising it through that player, because that's not maybe the gripping part of the video. So I
Yeah.
mean, like this looks very much. I mean, that's 9 years ago. Maybe it's um, because you kind of want to look at more recent videos as well, because obviously older videos, they pick up a lot of views over a long amount of time. So if you look at kind
Mhm.
of more recent, um, So obviously these are more like drama based videos, maybe reality TV. Secret hockey player is like maybe an angle you might be able to take for something. I guess this is memes, so that's a different angle. Yeah, I think. Do you know any? Have you been following any like hockey channels making hockey content? Maybe with like tens of thousands of views, or keeping an eye on like what hockey content looks like on YouTube. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
So actually, it's funny you say that. So a lot of my audience are watching the larger hockey channels in the space, which is,
mm.
I think, pretty good.
So do you want to send a link
So let me
to?
just let me
That would be great.
go to my channel here. I'll get you the. So this one is one of like the big channels.
Sweet. Let's have a look. Okay. I just want to see like what they how they kind of angle their videos. Um, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna, because I'm on an incognito tab. I don't have 1 of 10. I want to see what their outliers are. All right, switching to light mode here. So just, I guess, just to tell people what I'm doing. Oh, I guess their views are kind of just very consistent. They haven't got any like crazy outliers. I just pulled up this just because I wanted to see the outlier score here. This is from our free Chrome
Mhm.
extension. For anyone who doesn't know, it's just easier to kind of spot maybe which videos kind of poke out when it comes to views. So like 1.5 here when you're the best player in
Yeah.
NHL, but nobody cares.
Yeah. The season literally just started too,
Mm.
so I think views should pick up again because it literally started the other day.
Yeah, yeah. Usually when it comes to like, I guess you could say seasonal things, you get an influx of
Mhm.
views usually at the start of the
Yeah.
season. Obviously, if you can report
Yeah.
on like drama, trending topics, stuff like that, I feel like those
Yeah.
would
Like I
probably
haven't really
be.
seen them do like the rags to riches, the underdog stories a lot.
I think, to be
Um,
honest, like I think that's more evergreen content
for sure.
than like
For sure.
maybe like these kind of trending. This almost feels like a little bit more trending news, and obviously using like
Yeah.
maybe recent players and stuff. So it's going to be very kind of current content that
Yeah.
might die over
Yeah.
time. Whereas like rags
Yeah.
to riches, like people just love stories.
Well, that's
Um,
like I always try and go
mm,
evergreen for that reason. Like, yeah, mix in trending once in a while if you have to, but I'm a big fan of evergreen. Like you said,
yeah,
it
I think like
never dies.
mixing it up and then just double down on what works. But there are some
Yeah.
like videos when you release them, they might not get a ton of views, but just over time you just get that steady influx of views.
Yeah.
And I really like those kind of story ones. As we can
Yeah. Like
see with
I've
like,
released on another, like my true crime channel, the video did nothing for a month and literally went spiked with it like straight up.
mm,
And is like one of my best videos now.
do you want to send your true crime channel through and we can discuss that a little bit, or
Sure.
we can have a look. How many channels have you got? You sound like you got a few projects on your hands.
Yeah, I would say I have three
Three
right
channels.
now.
Damn.
Yeah. So this one is it's really struggling right now. But
The true crime one.
yeah, yeah. The hockey one that I'm working on is fairly new. So still early.
All right, let's pull up true crime. Um, and also, let me. I'm just gonna grab Kenny's as well. I think Kenny sent his, just so we can have a look at both at the same time. Okay, so Kenny, you're very very early game, so that's kind of first of all is, I guess, when you're early game, don't panic too much when you're just starting up. Sometimes it can take a bit of time. to get the ball rolling. But
Yeah.
let's have a look at
So for
what's
Kenny, so just to work, it took
mm,
me 35 videos on my true crime channel to get traction.
there we go. So so Kenny, I guess 35 videos would be like where you're allowed to start questioning things a bit. But it does take a while to get traction. And then I'm assuming once you got a bit of traction, it probably picked up a bit of traction in your previous uploads as well, right? Like the previous 35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So one piece of advice would be, this is why it's so important to, number one is obviously you want to try and upload the highest quality at all times. So the moment someone does find your channel, if you set up like your end screens and your playlist properly, like you want to create a kind of bingeability to your content essentially. So when someone finishes a video of yours, there's either another one about to play, or there's a very easy kind of choice for them to just go on and click on another video. I guess let's have a look at the homepage. So you got popular videos and videos. Sometimes what's good to do on your homepage is maybe find like a way to categorize like the different kinds of crimes or something. Maybe that people, if there's a certain kind of video that people like, just make an easy playlist for people to click on. Because if people do click on a playlist, what it does is actually when you've like clicked on a video, if this was a playlist, it kind of removes these like suggested videos, and you just have the playlist here, so it almost like traps them inside of your content, like binging on your channel. It won't make it like a huge massive difference most likely, but it's like anything helps when it comes to these like highly competitive niches. But you're saying that things have like slowed down dramatically recently.
yeah, yeah.
And what do you feel like that's down to? Do you feel like it's harder? Do you think that competition's increase? Is it like you're finding it harder to like find
Yeah.
topics? Is it your strategy like you're having a bit of trouble with, or
So I would say probably more competition.
hmm,
Um, Based on my competitive analysis of some of the channels out there, a lot of them seem to be struggling, and only the few of them are trending, I would say, in the trending up or like steady.
yeah,
Um, from I don't think it's a strategy standpoint because it's like I'm still doing the buckets that have worked really, really well on my channel.
yeah, I can see like doubling down on
Maybe the
the
buckets
female
have,
killers, cold-blooded gang
sorry, what was that?
members. Sorry, I'm trying to work out your buckets here.
Yeah,
But
so it'll be teens, females,
yeah,
cops, gangs. Um,
like most shocking,
yeah,
craziest.
yeah,
I mean, what's the most popular of all time? When did you start this channel? Was it how old is this? So about a year ago.
yeah. So I've had
Interesting.
really good success with this channel,
Yeah,
but it's
8
like the
million.
ups and downs have been
Yeah.
very extreme.
It seems like this kind of content is the kind of content that people click on. One of them might just pop off, start trending, and then go viral, but they're not necessarily sticking around from a loyal audience kind of perspective, and like and like going to watch kind of maybe every video. I guess the way that
Mm.
you've one thing I'd be wondering is
Imagine
because some of these are just like, to be honest, this kind of content is also built for TV. I'm assuming a lot of
Yeah,
your
so
viewers are
70% of
also,
my viewers are on TV.
yeah. Do you? I guess when it comes, I think when it comes to an oversaturated niche like this, the question is like, in terms of the actual format of your content, so the way it's edited, the way it's maybe narrated. Do you do your own narration and stories and stuff, or is it like outsourced and you just kind of have
It's
like
all
a
outsourced. I
okay?
I do the thumbnails, but everything else is outsourced.
So I think it will be the question of like, how is your content distinguished from like other true crime channels, and is there something that you can do to like bring yourself apart to almost, it's kind of like you got to experiment a bit maybe to see like how do you pull yourself away from the crowd but still provide the quality and the entertainment that people kind of want? um I think when it comes to a channel like this, it's like, as you say, it's kind of like a competition factor where it's like, okay, if there's like a trending case or something like that, you can get on it quick, you can kind of jump into that and get a few of those views quickly. Possibly
Mm-hmm.
some of the compilation videos might do really well if you manage to get like the correct angle that people want to watch. um, but the difficult thing is here is, I feel like for when it comes to like true crime stuff, unless you have a really unique angle for like maybe every single, let's just say like you were a true crime channel and the only cases you covered were like crazy hacking crimes or something like that, or like you only covered like clown killers or something, then you'd have like a dedicated audience who's obsessed with like clown killers or who's obsessed with like hacking. I think the difficult thing here is, I'm not saying that the wide reaching like general crime is a bad thing to do, because clearly you've done really well. It's like 8 million views, some crazy like big outliers there. But the difficult thing is, how do you distinguish between like your competition that might be like narration, content format, editing, and stuff like that? Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this kind of maybe this kind of style of video, um, it's like it looks like a very much kind of like a true crime channel, which is good, but it just probably won't create a loyal audience that's going to keep coming back. So it would kind of just be like, just keep smashing out content and just seeing which ones hit, see if you can ride another like content format for a while, and then drive traffic to like into the rest of the channel, um, through those kind of like big outliers. You see it with a lot of even like other channels, news channels, kids channels. Like there are some channels with like 10, 15 million subscribers. They'll be uploading like every day, getting like 10, 20K views, but then they're just waiting for that video that hits like 20 mil, 30 mil. And that
Mm-hmm.
might just be the case with kind of a true crime channel like this, unless you want to like create a unique angle and distinguish yourself from the rest of like the true crime
Yeah.
documentary channels, and do something that's either probably going to cost more money, say for example with like, I don't know, like animation or whatever else, when it comes to like, I guess how you'd make a video like more entertaining, or like to distinguish it from like other creators, um, or you just like stick with what you're kind of doing already and just keep like trying to refine like what is it like people click on. Can you do some A/B testing with like packaging and titles and stuff, just to see if you can get videos to take off? Say, for example, you've got a massive backlog here. See if there are certain videos that have a really high retention, and then you can look into it to see maybe what caused that high retention, or try to identify that, and then repackage a load of videos that have high retention but maybe didn't get kind of a lot of traction, maybe with the way that it's been packaged. So change the title and thumbnail for high retention videos, and just see if you can find like a formula when it comes to like the packaging and like retention to repeat in like future videos.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll think about that some more. And like, I think differentiating myself from the typicals, I'm not sure. Like you said, maybe that's better editing, a little more costly, but could pay off. I'll give that some thought for sure.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I just think when you're trying to stand out in that competitive space, it's always the question of like, why is someone going to click on me, and why would someone watch me over someone else? And if you can't maybe list at least some things maybe to do with your channel, that would, it just puts you in that bubble, and then it kind of just leaves it to chance and a little bit of the algorithm whether something like takes off or not, and less so when it comes to like you as the creator kind of guiding that at least a little bit. um,
Hmm.
so yeah. All right, great.
Cool. I appreciate the help and the time.
Sweet. All right. All the best. All right.
Thank you.
Lippy Gaming says, how do I go about creating thumbnails for GTA content? I find myself trying to make them on ChatGPT, but the images look very AI generated, and I feel like I'd get calls out in the comments for it. Honestly speaking, like we live in the age of AI now. I wouldn't worry about like getting called out for AI. Depends on how AI it is. If you could give me like, because there's so many different styles of thumbnails when it comes to like GTA. Lippy Gaming, yes, you are still here. If you could send me like an example of the kinds of thumbnails or your channel and stuff. Let me search Lippy Gaming. Oh. If you give me an example of the kind of thing like you're looking for when it comes to like GTA thumbnails, I might be able to like have a think off the top of my head, because I do have a history of doing some thumbnails, not necessarily GTA ones, but I can just have a look. Okay, we've got loads of links. Tom, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for Lippy, Tom asks, does the thumbnail generator also work well with faces of humans like famous people? I know some thumbnail formats are harder with AI. You know what? It does, like, it's a bit hit or miss with faces. Usually famous people, like, it can actually do some things pretty well. Let me just try and find an example. Give me just a second. Like, if it's, when it comes down to you, like, we're currently working on a face swap feature. So it will actually just enable you to grab any picture and like stick it on and it will face swap it. That's kind of in progress at the moment. But as for, here we go. So, I mean, this is like a Marques Brownlee, I think, MKBHD, you know, the big tech guy. This is Nick DiGiovanni. That's what they did. That's what it's done for him. Like, I'd say like both of them are like pretty good there. There's a Will Smith one that I did. That's very, very good for Will. Here we go. So this was a Will Smith one. I think this one's a banger, to be honest. And as well, bear in mind, they're all going to be at like this kind of size. So yeah, it can make absolute bangers. Sometimes it does take a few tries to like generate. Sometimes they can look a little bit strange or expression wise, depending on what you want to go for. It can vary a little bit, but generally speaking, in my experience, it has been very good. But it does struggle with like smaller creators or faces that are maybe not well known across media, which is why we're working on the face swap feature. So yeah, I mean, for the text and like the composition, everything, it's all dependent on the channel that you link to it. One of the things that I kind of try and go through people with is a lot of people just link their own channel, but sometimes their channel only has like 2 uploads, so then the results are really bad. And what you want to do is actually look at a channel that's doing a style that you want to kind of remix or replicate, and then just use those channels instead, channels with a lot of data. So yeah, Lippy, did you want to send through any GTA thumbnails that you were thinking of, and I can have a look at the GTA thumbnails and like go through that with you, because we've got about 20 minutes left. If anyone else wants to drop more questions, come up on the stage, I am happy to go through things. If you've got questions about the tool, strategy, wins, losses, happy to talk about anything. Okay, Ryan Darks asked, does posting at the same days and time every week help with video success, or have you found that not to matter? So this very much depends on your channel and your audience. Obviously, everyone tends to have the bulk of their audience maybe in like one place, or like when you go to, let me see if I can do this here. So on my channel here, actually, I don't know if there's going to be any personal information on this. Bear with me a second. Analytics. Okay, so I think this is fine. So I mean, this is my channel that I haven't uploaded in ages. But if we head to audience and scroll down, where is it? Oh wow. Let me switch to the pod channel. You can see some juicy inside information about the 1 of 10 podcast. So basically, you can see here, click on analytics and it will bring you to overview. If you head over to audience and then like scroll down here. So obviously you've got like the times where most of your audience are online, right? And you can upload in kind of like these hotspots, and generally speaking, that's like good practice. It's good practice, generally speaking, to post at the same time every week, because then you kind of have an audience that then grows an expectation that they're gonna see your video, let's just say on a Monday. It's good to upload. I mean, it can vary channel to channel, as I said, audience to audience, but start of the week's a good time to upload because everyone's kind of like maybe watching YouTube on their lunch breaks at work. They're kind of fresh and ready to go for the week. Let's just say if you upload it on a Friday night and a Saturday night, people might be out doing stuff. That's usually when people are out doing stuff on the weekend. But then if you're a kids channel, it's like, oh, well, maybe Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday is when kids are off. So it does depend on the context of your channel. But to be honest, like overall, like YouTube says this as well, when you upload doesn't affect the long-term performance of your video. Now, where I say it does matter, because what I've seen this with previous clients is, let's just say you upload every week, you grow an audience expectation that, let's just say your video is going to come at 6 p.m. on a Monday, and you do that for like a year, and that's what they're used to. And then let's just say 1 week, you can't get out on the Monday, you got a big sponsor and they're being annoying and you have to put it out on the Thursday. What I've seen is you put it out on the Thursday, and because the audience isn't expecting it to be uploaded then, or maybe less of them are online, initially the video doesn't do that great. Like maybe it's just like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 because there was just no expectation of you uploading on that Thursday, and maybe they're just not around to click or just not there. But then I've seen literally exact videos like that where it's been like sponsored or something like that, and there's been a bit of a delay to then go and become like 1 of 10s, like let's just say a week or two later, because then once the audience then comes back online, it kind of starts to pick up again. The algorithm picks it up. If it's a good video, if it's a good idea, like it starts showing up on everyone's home and suggested. So if it's like a video that's targeted just at your loyal audience, yes, you want to put it out at the same time. But if it's a video that's just good for the algorithm, full stop, in terms of long-term performance, like it's not going to make a massive difference when you upload. I hope that makes sense, Ryan. What time do you think is the best to post? As I think, Kenny, I think I probably just answered that question in that explanation. It's a little bit of context. Check your audience data and kind of weigh out from there. All right. I don't know if you wanted to go through any GTA thumbnails, Lippy Gaming, but I'm also open to take anyone else on the stage if they'd like to. If not, I can play around with 1 of 10 for a bit if you guys want, or if you have questions about the tool. All right, sweet, Lippy, that's cool. I was looking forward to creating some GTA thumbnails, but never mind. If anyone would like to... Oh, sweet. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Let me just... you know what? Let me just bring up Discord. Okay, so everyone should be able to see this. Is this AI? It looks kind of AI to me. I think what thumbnail makers do, especially obviously if they're like niche channels, they'll train like AI models on certain AI generations. So maybe he fed a load of images of like GTA loading screens into an image making software. I'm not aware of all of them, but you can build custom models nowadays and just like cook up characters like this quite easily, to be honest. You were saying that ChatGPT wasn't really working for you. I'm wondering if like prompt wise, let me pull up the, have you got any like channel? And then this is another one. This one doesn't look, this looks like the art that's from the loading screens, to be honest. It's a very similar style, so people might just be cropping like GTA loading screens out when it comes to the figures. GTA loading screen. Yeah, I mean, it looks like this kind of artwork, like this kind of style when it comes to the figures. So maybe in terms of like AI generation and stuff, you can look at kind of cropping these figures out and asking it to generate in this style. But if you feed a channel through, I'm curious to see if our thumbnail generator can cook up similar stuff, because we can also cook up like separate assets as well with the thumbnail generator. Yeah, this is 100% AI. This looks very ChatGPT. Yeah, I've got about 10 minutes left, so we could go through a little bit of thumbnail stuff. If you got some channels to send through of like where you're getting those thumbnails from, I can actually feed that into the thumbnail generator. Oh, okay, yeah. So these are very like AI ones. The first one that you sent was actually really high quality. I like that one. Have you got the channel for that one? Because these ones, to be honest, are not like their biggest outliers are not very difficult to do. This looks like almost straight screenshots from the game. This looks like screenshots from the game with just some logos on top. Screenshots from the game with just like GTA styled text. Let's have a look at this one. Let's do a quick thumbnail generation and see how it comes out. Live demo. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, these are some clean thumbnails. All right. The entire GTA timeline explained. Okay. Maga 1. Let me add this. So, give you a quick demo here. Maga 1. Okay, so we add the channel like so. Pending. Come on. You can do this. I think I got it right. Yeah, I did. Then head over to thumbnail generator. Select this guy. And I want to do high quality. And let's just bring this over here. So I'm actually going to stick with the entire GTA timeline explained and see what it comes up with. GTA timeline explained. Generate. And I'm actually going to add a tab because I want to do one with a bit more of a description. Okay, timeline explained, and we'll go with, how many characters are there? 5, right? Where am I looking? Yeah, 5 characters. And they've got like dates between, I'm just going to say 5 different GTA characters lined up. A white timeline behind their head. And let's just see what that cooks up. In the meantime, let me see if there's any more questions. Oh, Scribes, you sent some. Are those some more GTA channels through as well? And Bogan is also a good one. Big GTA creator. Let's see what we can cook here with some generations. Hopefully, we'll get some results in a second. Any more questions coming? I'm happy to answer them. We still got like 7-8 minutes left, so if anyone wants to pop up to the stage, you're welcome to as well before we finish up. All right, moment of truth. Okay. I think this one isn't bad. This last one. I think this is much closer to GTA style. Oh. I might generate this one again. I feel like this is getting somewhere, but we might need a few generations. This one's pretty good. I feel like some of them, it's like it almost gets the art style exact, and then some of them is a little bit too flat or cartoony. But I think, to be honest, I think the advantage of sometimes when it comes to AI and generating assets for more complex like style thumbnails, it's either making the prompt really complicated, like layers and layers to the prompt, or number two is personally what I would do is, like, let's just say if I wanted to take this but I didn't want the arrow. I mean, to be honest, the advantage of the oh, I need to refresh because we've had new ones since. Remove arrow. What I would do is I just like then grab like a generated image like this, maybe remove the arrow, and then if I wanted to add text or a timeline, I'd probably just do that myself in like my own image making software, because sometimes like the really fiddly bits, that last like 5 or 10%, that just like really refines it. Sometimes it's just better to refine it yourself. But I mean, like, for example, just removing the arrow is just so easy with the editor there. Or like even this one, remove white arrow. One thing that's fun with a generator is like you can look at it from not just like producing full-on thumbnails, but also producing assets to use in thumbnails. And there we go. It's just like, for example, it's like you cut out all those characters. Maybe you want to switch up the background. I think the green clouds, to be honest, the green clouds kind of work, but they might not be what you're after. You might want a different, cleaner background with a timeline on it or something. But like this works, I think, really well. Did I start another generation somewhere? I think I just let me grab this. I'm just gonna grab this prompt again. Before we finish up, does anyone have any more questions? I just want to do this again just for fun. Working at 1 of 10 gives me infinite credits to play around with a thumbnail generator, so this is like sometimes I mess about with this every day. So on the pro tier, which is the only tier that you get credit refreshes right now. You get like 1,000 a month, which to be honest is like enough for a lot of thumbnails, especially once you get going and you know what to do with the prompts. Oh, I just did this one standard. But yeah, I think the biggest win with credits at the moment is thumbnail generator and like title generator as well. So like let's just say I put what was it, the entire GTA time. I wonder how good it would be. Wondering what else it would cook up. So yeah, I guess it's like sometimes it's like if you want to nick like an idea from another channel but you just want to like remix it in one way or another, you can just like use the title generator to generate something. Or let's just say you have a really good idea, you can describe the idea and it will kind of almost like optimize it for you in like a YouTube format. So I mean, you got GTA Timeline, but this is how all the GTA games connect. Like this could be an idea then that you take and like optimize that even more to work for maybe like a video. Find something that connects all the games. That would be like an interesting story to tell. So this almost works as a little bit of like ideation as well. The secret that links every GTA game together. It's like these kinds of videos, they really do work if you get the packaging correct and the data is there to support them. The GTA theory Rockstar never wanted you to know. Like you might have had never thought of that kind of angle on the title when it comes to that. So it's kind of really interesting sometimes putting things into the thumbnail generator and the title generator and just see like what comes out, and then on the basis of that, like, okay, we got some more. Yeah, I mean, this is a very kind of GTA 6 background here with the purple. I think this is working really well. It's quite interesting. It's like some of it are more like realistic style versus I think this is getting the GTA style very on point here. Okay, Ryan Darks, next time I'll do this for your channel. Yes, jump on the next call. Let's do it. Yeah, you know what, Lippy, just drop me a DM and I'll like send all of these. I can download all of these and just send them through to you, like use them as assets for your own channel. It will literally take me like a couple minutes to do that. So drop me a DM on Discord. I can send those through to you if you like. But thank you everyone for this live session. It's been a cozy session today. Not too crazy, which is nice. True crime, GTA, some strategy. And I'm going to be doing this next week again. Next week, I am very much pondering whether I'm going to do a YouTube live stream. So there might be a little bit of a change in format there, but I'm gonna see about that. So once again, I do upload these replays into a playlist. If you just head to the official links tab on the Discord, you can see the playlist there. Every week I upload this. This week should look a bit sharper because I tried to fix up my OBS a bit when it comes to recording. But thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you next week. All the best, everyone.